Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Srirangam R. Kannan was a renowned vocalist and scholar of Carnatic music. He was a performing musician par excellence and a famed musicologist, teaching Carnatic music in Banaras Hindu University as a professor. The uniqueness of Srirangam R. Kannan lies in the fact that he mastered the art of performing amidst odds. With no instrumental support of Carnatic music and Hindustani music bed, he pursued it vigorously, blending percussion instruments of other systems to stylize his singing. He gave performances all over India with a zeal to reach out to the music lovers all over India. He is remembered for his soulful rendition of Bhakti Sangeet, which he could produce flawlessly in many languages of India. Srirangam R. Kannan was born in Tirupalliyur in Tamil Nadu. Belonging to a music family, he was initiated into music at an early age of 8 years by his illustrious musician father, Vidwan Sri Rajam Iyengar. Unlike other children, he did not waste his time in playing or entertainment. Instead, he focused his full attention to acquire knowledge in music. This made his father to leave him under the able guidance of Sangeet Kalanidhi, Kumbakonam Rajamanikam Pillai, Musuri Subramanya Iyer, Valadi Krishna Iyer, Kalidas Neelkanta Iyer, and P.K. Rajgopal Iyer. He was an alumni of Teachers College of Music of the prestigious Music Academy of Madras. In his dedicated service of 40 years in music, he won admiration from music lovers. His performances were ably supported by veteran violinists like Sangeet Kalanidhi Kumbakonam Rajamanikam Pillai, Sangeet Kalanidhi Marungapuri Gopalakrishna Iyer, and Sangeet Kalanidhi Professor T.N. Krishnan. Maestros in Mridangam like Kumbakonam Rengo Iyengar, Palini Subramanya Pillai, Umayalapuram K. Shivraman, and Palghat R. Raghu have shared the stage with him for performances. Vishweshwaro Rakshapuma Vishweshwaro Rakshapuma Vishweshwaro Rakshapuma Vidhi Urupugadi Pujita Satatam Vishweshwaro Rakshapuma Shri Vidhi Urupugadi Pujita Satatam Vishweshwaro. Srirangam R. Kannan had the opportunity of a Jugalbandi with Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, Pratap Narayan Pandit, and Channulal Mishra. He gave his first stage performance at a tender age of 19, and thereafter he never looked back. Though he could establish himself as a performing artist in Carnatic music, he desired to pursue his career in teaching profession and therefore had accepted the offer of Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, to work as a lecturer in its music faculty, and subsequently got elevated to the post of a professor. This had elated the spirit among the lovers of musical art. He had scores of disciples like Thumri Gayan singer Savita Devi, daughter of Vidushi Siddheshwari Devi, and Srinath Marathe, an A-grade retired staff artist of All India Radio, Mangalore. All along, he had kept up the highest traditions of Carnatic music in Shriti and Laya and had won the genuine admiration of experts as well as laymen. His simplicity and humbleness enabled him to move freely with public in general and people in music circle in particular. He had 2 publications to his credit. One can see the depth of his knowledge and understanding of music in his books Tyagaraja Kriti Sangraha and Muthuswami Dikshit Kriti Sangraha in Devanagari script, which have been translated into Hindi, and its notations were formed in Bhatkande notations of Hindustani music. Srirangam R. Kannan was a top-ranking artist of All India Radio and had given programs on radio since 1945. He served as a member on the panel of Advisory Experts Committee Musical Academy Madras. In his service of 4 decades of music, Sri Kannan had presented a number of vocal concerts across the country. His fluent and efficient Hindi gave him a chance to cut a cassette entitled Sangeet Vivejan. His recorded discs and cassettes were very popular. In 1980, at a vocal concert, Srirangam R. Kannan was accompanied on sarangi by renowned sarangi player Bachchalal Mishra and on tabla by renowned tabla player Ishwar Lal Mishra at Kolkata, which was a novel presentation because generally in Carnatic music, only violin and mridangam are used for the classical effect. He was born in the illustrious family of musicians at Tirupa Palliyur in Tamil Nadu on 15th of June 1924. His father, Vidwan Rajam Iyengar, was a distinguished music artist, and mother, Srimati Raja Lakshmi, was a patron of music. He married Srimati K. Saroja and had 2 sons, namely Dr. R. K. Srinivasan, elder son, who is also a performing flute artist of repute, and retired from service from Doordarshan Kendra, Chennai, as an assistant director of programs. His younger son, Sri R. K. Govindrajan, is a known vocalist in both systems of music. His audio-visual production, Namo Gange, has received a countrywide acclaim. Rajana Priyam Ananga Madapaharam Varanasi Purapatum Bhaj Vishwanatham. He provided vocal support to his father during his performances like Hindi bhajans, bhakti geet, and ghazals, which are appreciated by the audience. Srirangam R. Kannan has many awards to his credit. He has won the coveted gold medal in the open competition held by the Madras Music Academy in 1945. He was adjudged as the best junior musician by the Madras Sangeet Natak Academy. He was a recipient of Certificate of Merit and TTK Memorial Award from the prestigious Music Academy Madras. And he has been awarded top rank by the Music Audition Board of All India Radio, New Delhi. Srirangam R. Kannan always used to rehearse his classical music on the banks of Ganga, where Muthuswami Dikshit and Mahakavi Subramanya Bharti too lived for some time. On the fateful day of 23rd September 1988, his melodious musical notes got immersed forever in the mighty Ganga, leaving atop his fond memories, which every musician will cherish for a lifetime. सौ चांद भी खिलेंगे आसमां में तो क्या होगा। आप जो आए थे इस महफिल में, तो इस महफिल की औकात बड़ी थी।
Past participants waiting the gate. Srirangam Art Center, Karnataka Dynasty. World Cup region Piraman of the Mumbai and Natarajan University. Perishni Rag Shuddh Sadevi ने त्यागराज देते थे जो रूप कमता थे श्री रंगम आर कन्नन
That was a beautiful rendition by Srirangam or Kannan. And wonderfully, his life history was wonderfully explained, by his son, Dr. R. Govindarajan, which is very important. I think, I'll have to bring in the perspective, Srirangam R. Kannan left this abode, or this mortal earth 40 years ago, almost 4 decades ago. Before that, he was in great service to the music world for another 4 decades. We were talking about 80 years of history, and people tend to forget it, I'll give you an analogy. Think about M.S. Subbalakshmi, Her signature songs like Balaji Suprabhadam and Vishnu Sahasranamam will live forever, But after about 100 years or 80 years, if people are not, listening to such music, tend to be forgotten totally. They will never know what, the music. These are all the people who lived for the sake of music, On the feminine side, if you take M.S. Subbalakshmi, on the masculine side, you can see the Vani Bharata Suswara Ganamadi, Sri Srirangam Kannan, He was such an eminent musician. If he lived in and around Madras in the musical academy near about, he would have been one of the top-notch musicians ever remembered, like Balamurali Krishna or anybody else, But he chose to serve the music through teaching in Banaras Hindu University. He moved to the north, That is the reason why people didn't know much about, his talent, I happened to listen to that music once, in our Kalibari program. I was really moved by his bhava. When you bring in the bhakti bhava in the music, the audience, not only the musician who blends, with the God, But even the audience, if you can really listen to such music, you really feel the godliness. And in fact, you can realize or see God himself, but not look within, but just to listen to the music. Such a quality music was rendered by Sri Rangam, Sri R. Kannan, or Vani Varada, Sushwara Ganamani, Sri Rangam R. Kannan. We are very fortunate to have this program being in collaboration with Dr. Govindarajan. This not only, does the musics of Srirangam R. Kannan, but so many talented musicians, want to do and serve in his memory in our program, Madhura Gana Lahari. To give you an example, I would have never imagined, what is the music called Shama Sangeet, Unless I lived in Bengal in those years, I would have never known about Shama Sangeet, which is nothing but in praise of the universal mother Kali. And where the singer takes the bhava of a child, and then imagines Kali to be his or her mother, See the communication between the child and the mother, how it could be, And only those who have got kids, the mother and the child can appreciate that, not even a father. Only the mother and the child can appreciate the communication between the child and the mother, The father may be standing by the side and be enjoying it. That's all it is, But in a true spirit, if you want to enjoy, you have to assume and enjoy. In fact, Kali, just Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did. I have read many stories of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. They are not stories, They are real history, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa assumed Kali to be his own mother. And he many times assumed him to be a child, and see the communication, with the sweet smile in his face and how the communication, people outside considered him to be a madman, Whereas only Kali and him will know what actually they are, And that was the relationship of mother and child, That was it is, That is why I'm very much, that I'm very passionate in bringing this program of Madhura Gana Lahari. We are lucky to have this kind of a collaboration with the people of eminence in India. And this can only happen with the Kali Sankalpa. Sankalpa means her wish, Unless Kali wished it, this program would never be in our kind of a table, And we are very, very lucky to have such programs. And I request our music lovers, young, talented, and then the seasoned musicians to send their clippings of their music to Dr. Govindarajan. And his number in India is 777-589-2589. Again, his number is 777-589-2589. Please send your clippings to him. And Kali Bari will be delighted to broadcast in their channel your music, for the benefit of the devotees of Ma Kali. With this, I will conclude this morning Madhura Gana Lahari program.